Hello and welcome to the Jayco 284 BHS. Starting up front, we have a light, just in case you need to hook up at night. You have a retract and extend for your power jack. Considering that it is just power, this is electric. This ever electrically goes out. Just go ahead, pull this tab up, and there will be a manual override behind here. Put a tool in there, and then go ahead and raise or lower this. Coming behind here, we have this little tab which flips to either propane tank, and all it's doing is taking the propane from whatever one it's pointing at. So to the right, open it up to the left, make sure it's reading well set. You have your battery behind here, storage here. Starting back here, we have your black tank flush. So all this is going to be a sprinkler system inside of your black tank. So if you go ahead and put a pressurized hose into this and turn it on, the sprinkler will activate and then clear any toilet paper or crud that may have gotten stuck on its way out. You have your outside shower, you have a hot and cold side, and then you have your shower head here. City water connection. This is going to be for your campgrounds. So let's say you pull up to the campground, pull into your spot, and you go to hook the water up. This is where you're going to connect it to. What I would recommend doing is, because campgrounds are pushing for a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of pressure. I would recommend a water pressure regulator. All it does is dumb down the pressure a little bit to be safe for your camper and not end up blowing out the lines. Down here you have your sewer system, along with your low point drains, which are going to be your hot and cold lowest points of the trailer. So if you open those up, those will drain. Anyway, back to your sewer system. You have your gray tank and your black tank. Your black tank's of course going to be your toilet usage, and this is going to be more of like sinks and showers. What I do actually recommend is doing the black tank first, because since that's going to be the dirtiest water out of these two, when you go ahead and do that, do your black tank flush, drain it out, and then do your gray tank. Since, like I said, this is going to be the cleanest water out of these two, this just gives it one less extra flush, one last rinse before you go ahead and put your hands on there to twist and take off your sewer hose. If you do have a TV outside, pull this up. This will be your cable and TV satellite input. You have your camp power or your shore power right here. This also comes prepped for a backup camera. So if you do decide to purchase one, all you gotta do is unscrew the 4 screws, pop that little plate off, and then go ahead and plug in your camera. Once you go to the inside of your vehicle, make sure you put the little tablet it gives you inside of your cigarette lighter. Once it's in there, go ahead and turn your running lights on, and then your camera will start to feed through to that little tablet. Also, while we're in the back, we have your water heater. So this is going to be a 1 1/16 socket. All this does is cover this. So once that's on and on tight, go ahead and turn on the hot side of your faucet. Once you turn that on, it's going to sit there and sputter. Once it's done sputtering and has a steady flow of water, that means this is completely filled, and that's your go ahead to turn on your water heater switch on the inside, which I will show you. But once you have a steady flow, heat it up. After a couple days, it will get stagnant. So what you're going to want to do to empty the water out is go ahead and pull this little pressure release valve. Once this goes, you'll hear it start to hiss. Once it's done hissing, you know that the pressure is gone, so this will not shoot out at you and become a little projectile. So go ahead, set that off. Water will start to rinse out and empty through here. And to make it go faster, once again, all you gotta do, pull that pressure release and the water will start to flow. Right back here, we have your outside kitchen. You have your fridge along with your sink. On your tires, you have these little green knobs. Those green knobs actually indicate that your tires are filled with nitrogen. Because they're filled with nitrogen, you are able to fill it with regular air. It will not hurt your tires, and it won't inflate or deflate with temperature change. This is your furnace exhaust. This gets very hot because all the excess heat will come out of here. There we go, will come out of here. So if you have little kids in the area, just let them know, do not touch this metal piece or get near it because it will eventually start to burn. Here's your fresh tank fill. So if you're going out into the middle of nowhere, you're not gonna have that city water connection. Fill this up. All you gotta do, it's just a little gravity fill. Go ahead, fill this up with water. It'll fill up a big tank. You'll have a reader on the inside which will tell you how full this is going to get. But once you fill this up, take it with you and turn on the water pump on the inside, which I will also show you. But that water pump grabs this tank of water while you're out in the middle of nowhere and gives you steady water through your sinks, showers, and whatnot. Let's say you get done camping out in the middle of nowhere. You still have water left over. Come down here and pull this little tab. Just open. All I gotta do is twist it, open, and it'll start to drain. This is for your TV, all three of these. TV mount, cable satellite antenna input, along with your 110 outlet here for your stairs. Make sure your door is completely open. Otherwise, this piece will actually scrape out the side of your door. But all you do is lift up, place it inside, and make sure this little white tab is behind your door. To take out, go ahead, pull the blue tab again, grab the handle, and pull. You also want to make sure that the stairs are completely flush with this metal piece. Because if you go to shut your door and it's not, it'll actually, first off, it won't close, and second off, that little furry piece along with the rubber seal here and here will actually rip off. Coming to your awning outside, this little black tab up top here, this is another manual override, so if this ever electrically goes out, you are able to move it back in. Once again, place this tool inside there, go ahead and move it in, then you'll be all set. This is going to be your starter pack. You have your sewer hose, which I do recommend getting a quote-unquote indestructible one that you can run over or whatever and they won't break, because these will eventually break, and of course, when it's a sewer hose, that's the last thing you want to break. You have your drinking hose along with 110 outlet. So, for example, let's say you plug in your trailer before you leave so you can cool your fridges down. This is what you're going to want to do. Plug your power unit into this and this into your house, and then the things that it will cool are your fridges. So like I said, go ahead, plug your camper into your home. Once you do that with this, then it will start to cool your fridges. Also, you have two of these, but these help raise and lower your stabilizer jacks, both front and back. Coming on the inside of your camper, here we have all of your power controls. So this is that reader that I was telling you about. You have your battery. This is where you'll check your fresh tank, black and gray. You have your water pump, which is, once again, fresh tank. If you need water out in the middle of nowhere, you fill that up, click this button here, and this will push water through your systems. You have two elements to your water heater. You have gas and electric. For example, let's say you need the warmest water for a shower. Go ahead and turn both on at the same time, but you're able to do one of each. You have your lights here. Red's going to be the inside. Left is going to be your awning light. Speaking of awning, you have your in and out button here, which I'll run it out just to show you, see how far I can get. and I'll also show you how to pitch it for the rain. So you know you're fully extended when the flap comes down and you can start to see the black tube that the awning is on. To pitch it for the rain, all you do is go ahead, grab and pull, and then the water will start to lean off of one edge and start draining that way. Once again, push up, pull down, and it does say you can bring it in like this, but I do just recommend pushing it up. Once again, just a recommendation. That's more of a personal preference. I do recommend leaving it straight before you reel it back in. And then for the far right here, you have your slide in and out. It'll sound like a gear grinding noise when it's fully extended, but just know that it's perfectly fine. It sounds scary, but it's not. Once you hear that, you know you're fully extended. Just beneath this, you have your carbon monoxide detector. So this green light indicates that it's always on. There's a better view. But considering that this is always on, it never shuts off. Even if you disconnect everything, this green light will kill your battery. So what I do recommend doing, if you are going to leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, just go ahead and take the negative end off of your battery. Then this will finally end up dying. But once again, that's only if you're going to leave for about 3 to 4 days. Otherwise, keep your trailers plugged in or whatnot, and this will not kill your battery. Coming into your bedroom for your lights, there's a little push right in the middle for your bed. If you lift up on the wood part, you can access your storage underneath. For your TV, you have a TV backer here, and then your 110 and satellite or cable inputs there. Coming to your keys, you have main doors along with these silver ones, which are going to be your baggage doors, and the small black ones are going to be for your outside shower. So you have main doors, baggage doors, outside shower. Coming to your stove and oven here, to open them up, just like that. Go ahead, turn it on, and to ignite, you just press, turn, which releases the gas, and then you spark to the right. And that goes for all 3 of them. Just like that. Alright, now for your oven, you turn, and you press this little flame symbol. Once you see a tiny flame appear in the back of your oven, you turn to your desired temperature. Beneath all of that, you have your breakers and your fuses here. There we go. Alright. Coming down underneath this, you have your breakers and your fuses. All your breakers are going to be labeled, and I do recommend bringing extra fuses with you. I'd rather be safe than sorry, but that's just a recommendation. For your fridge, your controller is going to be on top here. Hold to turn on. These two indicate your refrigerator or your freezer that you're controlling. This is going to be for nighttime mode, and then this is going to control your cool and coldest temperatures. 5 is going to be the coldest, and 1 is just going to be cold. And then to turn off, once again, all you do is hold. For your radio here, tap to turn on, it'll say welcome. Zone 1 are going to be your inside speakers, and Zone 2 are going to be your outside speakers. You can mute both of them just like that, or you can mute them all at once by just tapping the mute button on the top right. You have your Bluetooth, AM, FM, and aux that you can select through. If you tap, you can control bass and whatnot, along with treble, balance, equalizer, whatever. To turn off, all you do is hold. This is standby, and then it's fully off. Also have your HDMI and USB ports here. And for your bunk beds, similar lights. All you gotta do is tap right in the middle, and then you are good to go. Coming to this is where you control your AC, fan, and whatnot. Low for fan and cool. Once again, furnace and off. And of course you control your temperature with the higher and lower arrows on the right. Coming to your toilet, it's just gonna be a foot flush. You just tap down right on this little lever here and it'll flush. What you will need is RV grade toilet paper along with solution. The solution will help break down solids and smells, and the toilet paper will help break down easier so it won't end up clogging your systems or your just sewer system in general. For this, you just kind of pull and then adjust your height here and then let go whenever you want to release that, and then you have a little button which turns on the fan. For your couch, all you gotta do is go ahead, grab and pull, lift up and pull actually. Now it's down. Similar interaction to put it back, lift up, put a little pressure in. Once you find that sweet spot, it'll just slide right back. For your table, I'm gonna put this in the bed position, but right before, I'm going to let you know, I would recommend the bed position for travel, because if it's like this, obviously it's gonna start to wobble, and eventually, after a long time of wobbling, your poles are gonna end up warping at the bottom and tops. So it's just as a safer option, just go ahead and put the poles somewhere where they're not gonna roll around as much, maybe just right inside of there. And then put the table onto the 4 little cleats, which I will show you in just a second. Now that your table's down, go ahead, take any of these cushions, and then just fill in the space in the middle. Eventually put one more here, and it'll turn it back into a bed. But once again, just a recommendation for travel. You don't need to, but it would just save you the time to buy new poles.